Hello friends, this is the second video on revision series, and today again we'll continue with the English portion. Today we'll try to revise the leftover chapter, that is Rattrap, Peddler, and second on the face of it. And very quickly we'll go through the questions. Yes, day before yesterday, I think certain things I discussed regarding Rattrap, Peddler. Today what we'll do, very quickly we'll go through the questions, okay? And if you have any doubt, you please tell me. Why did the Peddler sign himself? Very important question, as Captain von Stahel. He was not Captain von Stahel. It was a case of mistaken identity, isn't it? The Iron Master, he mistook him for his old acquaintance, okay, like that. But this Peddler, he signed himself as Captain von Stahel. The reason, you know very well, this letter Adela Wilmanson found in that packet, okay. So Adela Wilmanson had been rather nice to the Peddler and had treated him with the honor that was due to a captain, okay. Now it was case of a mistaken identity, but fortunately this lady, that means Adela Wilmanson's daughter of Iron Master, she raised the dignity of this tramp, okay. So that is the reason she treated him like a real captain only, Captain von Stahel only. Got it? And so that's why, in a way, she elevated his dignity. So in a way, he was thankful to this particular lady, and that is the reason why he signed like Captain von Stahel. Okay. So he got an opportunity to raise himself, and he had that sort of aversion against the society. But then now he got the power because of this lady to change himself, to transform himself, okay, and his perception regarding the world in a way changed, okay, and he was now able to get rid of the petty temptations of the world. So he signed himself as Captain von Stahel, the that means the dignified person, okay. Even though it was an not real, he was not a real captain, but he signed like that. Why? Because in a way he got the power to transform himself because of that lady who treated him very, very nice, like a gentle person, okay. Why did the rat trap paddler think that the world was a rat trap? So many times we have discussed this particular thing, isn't it? The paddler, out of amusement, isn't it? Just to get rid of the boredom, isn't it? Monotonous life, okay, he assumed that the whole world, isn't it, with all its continents, cities, countries, seas, rivers, all are part of are all combined is a big rat trap, and this world is like a big rat trap with all its elements, okay, you can say, okay, and the world is existing for one particular reason only, and that is to trap people, hapless, unfortunate people, okay. Got it? And through different types of baits, through different types of enticements. And what could be the different types of enticements? They are money, you can call it money, or shelter, warmth, love, okay. So all these are different type of temptation, and whenever the very poor person touches that particular beat, what happens? The world closes in on him, and he is trapped forever, and ultimately the person dies, okay. Why was Hedla happy to see the gift left by the paddler, isn't it? Because she realized one particular thing, that at least now this particular person has changed. That sort of transformation has come in that particular person. Why? Because she was frustrated, because they came to know about the how the crofter he was robbed. So she also thought about, maybe she also might have thought about this particular person, that he has not changed in a way, and he's a thief only, he's a robber only, okay. So a sort of frustration was there, because okay, I just raised this man's dignity, and taken and this particular person is none other, is actually a thief, and it seems to me, she felt that this particular person has not at all changed, so she was frustrated, okay. But then when she saw that particular gift wrapped in a that particular, whatever items were there inside, they were wrapped in a very rough manner, but she was very, very happy. A cry of joy was there, okay. So Adela was happy to see the gift left by the peddler, as he had respected her faith in him. And he mentioned in that, since you treated me like a gentleman, I will not disappoint you. I want you to remember me as a gentle folk, not like a thief. ठीक है ना, गॉट इट. सो आई हैव नथिंग. और सबसे बड़ी बात है जो ये जो होता है मनी, इसकी कोई जो क्या कहते हैं ना आपके, गिफ्ट महंगा या सस्ता नहीं दे रखा जाता है. गिफ्ट इज कंसिडर्ड एज अ गिफ्ट ओनली. तो उसके पास कुछ था नहीं देने को, तो रेड ट्रैप दिया उसने और एक लेटर दे दिया. और द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग that shows that he has gone through that sort of metamorphosis is that he decided to return the money. इसमें 3 kroner notes were also there. Adela had retained him in her house, hasn't it? So in a way he restored faith in humanity. जैसे कहते हैं ना कि भाई अगर ऐसा कुछ नाटक हो जाता, कुछ चीज लेके भाग जाता वहां से, then the Adela means what if you talk about the humanity, isn't it? He, in a way, he would have disrupted the humanity, isn't it? And the faith in humanity, because Adela would think many times before helping any other person, because this type of people, she might think, or she might have thought, oh, I will not help anyone, because such type of people, the downtrodden or those who belong to this particular class, isn't it, they are like that only. They would never ever change. So in a way, in the future she would become suspicious of such type of people. But here this man restored faith in humanity like that. Okay, and got it. And got it. So उसने disappoint नहीं किया उस बंदे ने, and she actually raised his dignity, and that is the got it. So वही बात हो गई जो theme है इस chapter की, the essential goodness, the goodness which is always latent in the heart of a person. Okay, so she that latent, okay, manifested in a way, and it came to the surface, the goodness. Okay, and that was because of this particular lady. So वो theme यहाँ पे साबित हो गई, that the essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through love and sympathy. Yes, शायद समझ में आ गया आपको. Which act of the crofter surprised the paddler? ठीक है ना. So which particular act, isn't it? In a way, Peddler wanted one particular day he wanted some shelter because it was the evening time. Okay, uh, darkness started descending down, and he wanted that shelter. So he knocked the door of a hut, a small cottage, and he was surprised because always he was greeted by frowned faces. But this time, what happened? A particular cheerful old man called him inside. Come inside, and he offered him all the warmth. He had shown his hospitality, isn't it? He played a particular game with him and gave him porridge. Okay, and so he was very generous with it, and that is the reason why he was surprised, because he was given the hospitality, and he talked to him in a very polite manner, and he invited him. Aja andar aja. That was something phenomenal. How was the peddler treated at the crofter's कॉटेज? ये भी सेम ही दोनों करीब करीब आंसर इसके, बट वो वहाँ पे मैंने बता दिया अभी हाल कैसे उनको उसको ट्रीट किया गया था. हॉस्पिटलिटी हैड शोन. He was a very old and lonely person without any friend, without any wife or children, isn't it? And he was like a talkative person. Got it? And he gave him porridge to eat. He played jollies with him. Most important thing, he gave shelter to this particular crofter to stay there for the night, and that was something remarkable. But उसकी एक negative चीज ये भी थी कि he was a very what do you say, this particular person, the old man, he was very generous with his food. He was very generous with his food, but at the same time he was very generous with his confidences. मतलब वो उसने सब कुछ उगल दिया था. So that was not negative. ठीक है. And why was this crofter so talkative and friendly with the peddler? उसका भी एक reason था यहाँ पर. He was very very lonely. He lived alone in the house. और फिर बुजुर्ग भी था. He was very old man. Generally, if a person is very very old, nobody wants to talk to them. Okay, so he was naturally, that particular compassion was there in his heart. He wanted to talk to the people. आप अकेले रह नहीं सकते ना, आपको अकेलापन खा जाता है. So got it. So he suffered from this acute loneliness. So he was very very happy that a person has come, and I will talk to this particular person to the full extent. Okay, that is the reason why he was so talkative. ठीक है ना। तो ये क्वेश्चन मैंने बता दिया। आपको कुछ और डाउट्स हो इस चैप्टर में तो आप मुझे मैसेज कर देना कि सर इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है, या कोई लंबा क्वेश्चन हो तो उसका आंसर आप डिस्क्रिप्टिव वन, सर इसका आंसर क्या होगा, तो आई विल टेल यू ऑल। ठीक है। और आपको जब वो, ठीक है ना, तो एनी पर्टिकुलर वेन एवर ही एंटर्ड दैट पर्टिकुलर what we say forest, dense forest, there also he was stuck. He was not able to get out of that particular jungle or forest. And then again the same philosophical musing that oh this particular forest is a big rat trap. तो इसके बारे में भी आप सोचिए, क्वेश्चन अपने आप बनाइए कि इसका आंसर क्या हो सकता है, isn't it? And ठीक है ना। तो आई होप यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड। कुछ और क्वेश्चन बाद में अगर लगेंगे मुझे तो मैं भेज दूंगा 1-2 दिन में, और कुछ जो है मैं पीडीएफ भी भेज दूंगा आपको। ऑन द फेस ऑफ इट, इसके क्वेश्चन जल्दी जल्दी हम लोग देख लेते हैं। ऑन द फेस ऑफ it, ठीक है। What qualities of Mr. Lamb attracted Derry to him, hasn't it? Slowly and gradually what happened, Derry was attracted to Mr. Lamb. Slowly and gradually, the transformation started, though he was having a negative mind. Okay, Derry suffered from a terrible complex, inferiority complex, because of that particular handicap, that particular burn mark. But his meeting with Mr. Lamb is a turning point in his life. He gives confidence to Derry and encourages him to develop a positive attitude towards life. He is not his handicap. ये उसका मंत्रा था। You are not your handicap. Okay, you are more than your handicap, isn't it? And this handicap should not obstruct the happiness or joy of life. ठीक है। Now he got a new meaning and purpose for his life, and that's why Mr. Lamb, he was a great motivation, isn't it? And he was like he liked the words of encouragement of this particular person, and because of him, complete transformation of Derry. ठीक है, possible because of this man. Um, why did Derry's mother think of Mr. Lamb? Now this is, if you talk about Derry's mother, she is also part of that particular society, the society which as a whole is like a, what we say, very crooked minded society, isn't it? And they generally such type of people, they become very very reactive, and they discourage the children if they have some sort of handicap. They discourage them. They never allow them to grow or blossom, isn't it? They always discourage them. They instead of instilling their hearts with confidence, isn't it, they generally crush their personality, isn't it? And that's why what happened, many people, those who are handicapped, so such type of atmosphere is there in the house. Okay, so their personality never bloom, it withers away, है ना, सूख जाती है उनकी पर्सनालिटी एक तरह से खिलने की बजाय. So this happened with the mother also was the same. She was also the part of that particular type of society. Okay, and at the same time, people believe what others say, है ना. तो इधर सुनी सुनाई बातों पे विश्वास लोग बहुत जल्दी कर लेते हैं. Rumors are there in the many times, rumor the fly with the lightning speed. तो उसने भी कहीं, मदर ने भी किसके बारे में, if you talk about Mr. Lamb, she also heard things about Mr. Lamb, that he's like that particular person, he's like that particular person, a lonely what was a person, an eccentric person, a whimsical person, isn't it? And he's a very bad person, like that. So that is the reason why she said that she said that what, that you need not have to go to that particular man, you have to stay here. So Derry's mother did not think very highly of Mr. Lamb. That means he did not she was not having that very high opinion regarding Mr. Lamb, and claimed to have heard not really good things about him. So people used to say all rubbish things about him, and I feel that I'm suspicious about that particular man, so don't go over there. She had been told and warned by people about Mr. Lamb, and so she told Derry not to go back to him. She also tried to hold him back, but he does not go back to. But he does go back to him. He did not listen. ठीक है ना. तो ये यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट है. What consolation did people give when they saw his asset burn? Now this is the people's attitude. Okay, whenever they would see this particular person, that means Derry, either they would be afraid of him, or they would uh, what we say, regret. Okay, they would be shocked. They would not treat this particular boy as a normal person, and that really hurt this boy, and in a way his personality, it was totally crushed. When people saw Dory's acid burn face, they tried to console. Now, what they try to do, they try to console him by telling him fairy tales. Okay, they said that it was chicken. अब अंदर ही अंदर वो डरे हुए हैं, तो चेहरे से मालूम पड़ रहा है कि वो चेहरा देख रहे हैं, तो देर से ओ माय गुडनेस, ओ माय गॉड, they pretend to be normal but they are not normal, isn't it? And they would say fairy tales to this particular boy that there are people who are very strong despite their handicap, isn't it? And there are people, isn't it, who are without hands, the hands are amputated, the legs are amputated, isn't it? Or there are people who are mentally retarded and they live a normal life, isn't it? And at least you are better than them, so no problem like that, isn't it? So Derry knew that people lied. Why? Because inside they are afraid. वो मुंह पे उसके बोलता है बेटा कोई बात नहीं, तुम अपने आप को strong करना. But in private they would say, oh my goodness, how this boy would lead his life, isn't it? This is something. This is something very very. This is the worst thing I have seen in my life. People would say, ठीक है ना? Got it? And so उसके अंदर एक चीज घर कर गई, isn't it? Something negative entered his subconscious mind, और subconscious mind में कोई चीज चली जाती है तो बाहर नहीं आती. That I am a monstrous uh, monstrous beast, and I will not change at all. Okay, I have to lead my life like that only, and that is the reason why he made himself a isolated. He made himself a lonely person who got it, completely secluded from the society. He became an isolated entity in a way. ठीक है ना, किसी से मिलना जुलना नहीं. ठीक है. Mr. Lamb told Derry the story of a man who hid himself in his room. Why did the man do so, and with what result? Mr. Lamb told Derry, ठीक है, अब वो स्टोरी का मतलब क्या था? Now, the thing is that many times you suffer from loads of psychological diseases, and you are responsible, you yourself are responsible for developing them. So this man, he became like a paranoid. Okay, he suffered from disease called paranoia. Okay, that if I'll venture out of my house, I will be killed by people, I will die because of an accident. Okay, and I will slip on the road and the people would laugh at me, loads of things. Okay, so that's why he locked himself inside the house. Got it? And he died in the room because a picture hanging on the wall fell off. Okay, it landed on his head and killed him. So the point is that the thing is that he wanted to say that you must enjoy the life to the full extent. Okay, you have to enjoy the present moment which is going. So the thing is that you have to live in the present moment. Okay, आपको present moment में रहना है. You have to live in the present moment. Okay, and you don't have to worry about the past and the future, and you have to keep your mind stable. मौत आपको कहीं पर भी आ सकती है, isn't it? And anywhere it would come, even if you lock yourself with 100 locks in a room, कहीं पर भी आप lock कर लो. Okay, the tragedy would fall upon you if it will come. Okay, you cannot save from the tragedy yourself. It can come at any moment. So the best thing is you have to enjoy the present moment, the now. Just okay, the now is the life. Now life is not in the past or the future. Life is not in the worries. So get rid of all your what we say, past, you can say, problems, and stop worrying about the future. Live in the present. Okay, that is the thing. तो आप बच नहीं सकते ट्रेजिडी से. आप कुछ भी कर लो, अगर आप घर में अपने आप को बंद कर दोगे तो भी कुछ उसका नतीजा निकलेगा. कम आउट एंड लेट अलाउ योर पर्सनालिटी टू ब्लॉसम. व्हाई डज मिस्टर लैम लीव हिज गेट ऑलवेज ओपन? ये भी एक इंपॉर्टेंट. मिस्टर लैम ऑलवेज कीप्स हिज गेट ओपन बिकॉज ही डज नॉट माइंड स्ट्रेंजर्स entering his house. He was a very open-minded person, isn't it? And he says that I love friendship of the people. If they are coming to my house, it is good. If they are not coming, no problem. If they love me, good. If they don't love me, no problem. Doesn't I am for me all are my friends. Okay, and friendship means I don't expect the key to friendship is don't expect anything from others. Do everything for them, but don't expect anything in return. That is something more important thing. ठीक है ना? So people come, they argue. Many times they mock at him, children mock at him, but he is not at all worried. I think many times what happened outside the house, people, children mock at him, calling him lammy lamb, but then next day they would come to his house for the chocolate, for the jelly, isn't it? For the apple, but he would not scold them. So that is the thing he wanted to say. How does Mr. Lamb keep himself busy when it is a bit cool? When it is a bit cool, Mr. Lamb pull down the ripe crab apples, crab ka matlab jungly, wild apple from the trees with the help of a ladder and a stick. He then makes jelly from them, so that as that is a good time of the year to pick and make jelly out of orange and golden crab apples. What peculiar thing does Derry notice about the old man? ठीक है ना? उसने एक बात कही थी कि यू सीम टू बी वेरी वेरी पेक्यूलियर बिकॉज यू टॉक पेक्यूलियर थिंग. मुझे समझ में नहीं आता है क्या बातें करते हो आप. ठीक है ना? यू टॉक वेरी पेक्यूलियर थिंग्स. Daddy thinks that the old man Mr. Lamb is peculiar and say peculiar thing. इससे पहले उसको ऐसी बातें किसी ने बोली नहीं थी. पीपल वुड ऑलवेज रिग्रेट हिम. अरे बेटा देखो उसको क्या हो गया, कैसे जिएगा इतनी लाइफ. इसके मदर फादर भी ऐसे ही थे उसके कि भाई हमारे बाद इसका क्या होगा. यू आर मेकिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन feeble. You're making the personality of that particular person very very feeble, isn't it? Instead of making his personality strong. Derry noticed that although Mr. Lamb talks about his friends, he has not seen anyone visiting the old man. But एक और चीज़ कि भाई इतने सारे आप लोगों की बात करते हैं और ऑल माय फ्रेंड. अच्छा एक चीज़ और है, फ्रेंडशिप का मतलब ये होता है कि आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग विजिट करें, आपसे बातें करें, isn't it? तो वो मिस्टर लैम्ब ऐसे नहीं थे. मिस्टर लैम्ब का कहना था कि आई एम लाइक एन एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ लव. आई एम लाइक एन एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ लव. My love is offered to none and my love is denied to none. I am like living embodiment of. जैसे फूल होता है ना, एक ही होता फूल, खुशबू फैलाना काम है उसका. अब बहुत से आते हैं कि भाई इसकी खुशबू पसंद नहीं, इसका सेंट मुझे पसंद नहीं, मुझे एलर्जी हो जाती है इससे. तो उसको कोई मतलब नहीं. उसका काम है क्या कहलाना, खुशबू फैलाना. अगर आपने कोई फूल को हाथ से मसल दिया अपनी उंगलियों से, फिर भी वो फूल जो है आपके हाथों में खुशबू छोड़ के चला जाएगा. तो सच वॉज द एटीट्यूड ऑफ मिस्टर डेरिस दैट आई डोंट केयर व्हाट पीपल आर टॉकिंग टू मी. इफ दे टॉक टू मी आई एम वेरी फ्रेंडली टू दैम एंड आई नीड नॉट हैव टू make a list of them. I need not have to know the name of them. I don't have to put a label on them. This is good, this is bad, and this is my friend, that is not my. All are my friend, and that is something which is not achieved by everybody. ठीक है ना? मिस्टर लैम्ब फेल्स टू गिव एनी. तो उसने पूछा भी था कि वो क्या क्या नाम है बताइए आपके. तो उसने बोला मेरा कोई नाम मुझे नहीं मालूम. बिकॉज व्हाट इज इन दाई नेम, नाम में क्या रखा है, जैसे शेक्सपियर ने कहा था. मिस्टर लैम्ब रिफ्यूजेस टू एडमिट हिज लोनली. हाँ, लेकिन ये सच्चाई थी कि वो लोनली था, क्योंकि लोगों का एटीट्यूड ही ऐसा था. पीपल आर वेरी सेल्फिश. बट उसने इस लोनलीनेस को अपना हथियार बना लिया था. उसने कहा कि लोनली हूँ मैं. मे बी ही डिड नॉट एक्सेप्ट इट. ठीक है ना? लोनली था बट विथ अ पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट कहीं पर एक जगह उसने मेंशन किया था, यू मस्ट बी रिमेंबरिंग. ही सेज isn't that people they go and they promise me, before going they promise me that we will return, but they don't return. तो कहीं पर वो नेगेटिविटी का एलिमेंट आ गया था यहाँ पे. बट स्टिल ही वॉज वेरी वेरी हैप्पी and he was able to transform this particular person, isn't it? He kindled the light of hope, he kindled the light of optimism where in this boy's heart. Also he asked Derry questions he does not understand. कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चन जो उसने कभी सुने नहीं, ओके, जो उसको दिमाग को हिला दें. There are no curtains at the windows in the his house. बोला मुझे ज़रूरत ही नहीं किसी, मुझे किसी से डर नहीं लगता, isn't it? I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm like an open book. So my house is also like an open house, okay, without any curtains, nothing. I like the light and darkness and hears the wind with the window open. तो वो जो हवा चलती, जो ब्रीज चलती है, isn't it? That is something very very soothing for Mr. Lamb. Okay, he love to read, watch, listen. इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन योर परसेप्शन। किसी को जो कहते हैं कि बीज जो है वो हमिंग साउंड, वो सिंगिंग लगती है, किसी को उनका जो है बीज का साउंड बहुत इट खराब लगता है। तो इट डजंट, इट ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन योर परसेप्शन, हाउ यू परसीव थिंग्स, ठीक है। तो ये वो बहुत ही पॉजिटिविटी वाले थे। अनफॉर्चुनेटली इसका एंडिंग जो था वो ट्रेजिक था। व्हेन डेरी रिटर्न्स बैक, मिस्टर लैम्प, ही वाज नो मोर, ऑल alone he was in a way trying to pluck the apples, and he fell down from the ladder. Okay, तो इसमें उनकी कोई गलती नहीं थी एक्चुअली, सोसाइटी ने थोड़ा सा, सोसाइटी भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है इस चीज़ की, ठीक है। तो आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड इट नाइसली, और अगला वीडियो में फिर से वापस अपलोड करूँगा। टिल देन गुड नाइट, शब्बा खैर, ठीक है। आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड।